Hey everyone, it's Dave from BC Bushcraft here, and today's video I'm going to be doing a knife unboxing video. I picked up 3 new knives. It was my birthday about a week ago, and I had a budget for some knives because that's all I wanted for my birthday, and instead of getting 1 knife in the budget, I decided to get 3. And in this video I'll just show you guys kind of how these knives look like when they come out of the box and my first impressions on ergonomics and everything like that. So let's get started. We'll start off with the cheapest knife and we'll work upwards. First one on the list is the Mora Classic number 1. This is my first look at it, and yep, came really sharp. I'd have to say that's probably razor sharp. I decided to pick up this knife specifically for carving purposes. You know, it cost around $20, maybe just a little bit more, around the same price as my Mora Companion. And just right off the bat, I will tell you that this knife feels quite nice in the hand. It's very light. It's incredibly light. The blade's a little smaller than the Mora Companion, but I will say that the Mora Companion definitely feels nicer in the hand than this one. But I got this to be a dedicated carving knife because it's got a really, that's a really sharp. That's the one thing about Mora, is like they have a really high standard on how sharp their knives come. And the knives that I'm going to show you next tend to have a reputation not to be as good as. So I'm excited to have this one. Excited to have it for my carving purposes, but this sheath is garbage. It's plastic, you know, and the handle feels a little cheap, and your hand, it feels like it wants to slide up a bit. Next knife, which I'm really excited to see this one because there's so much talk about it, is Condor Bushlore. I got the micarta version of this knife, and wow. So this is how the knife comes out of the box. Comes in this plastic. That micarta looks pretty sweet, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm incredibly impressed by this Condor Bushlore that I received. I mean, I've read like so many different reviews about this knife, and like the fit and finish is, people, you know, either it comes really nice or you get a dud and things can be wrong with the grind and the handles and everything. But I must say that the Bushlore that I've got here, it's awesome. The micarta is perfectly flush, there we go, with the tang all the way around. That handle feels so nice. I'm not gonna lie, like it has a really nice palm swell. And wow, I'm shocked because everyone says that these knives come dull, but this knife is not dull. This knife is very sharp. I mean, I probably could cut my hair with it. I'm impressed. I'll probably still strop all of these knives. Condor Bushlore, this one in particular, it comes with some sort of finish, like a bead blasted finish or something like that. So I'm not entirely sure if this would actually take a spark. I already know that the Mora Classic number 1 definitely won't. Because all the Moras, they need to have the back of the spine grounded down. So I'm not sure about these other 2 knives because they have coatings. So we'll give it a test. It feels like a sharp 90 though, so. Oh wow. There you go. Right off the bat. The sheath that came with it, I didn't realize it was going to be black, but it's still pretty cool. Everyone was raving about these sheaths, and like, yeah, it's not bad, I guess. I think for the cost of the knife, like, it's a pretty damn good sheath. Especially when you compare it to this dinky Classic number 1, but The only thing is that the Bushlore is 1075 high carbon steel, and with a leather sheath, that can be big problems with moisture and wet weather. Regardless, this is a nice sheath, very sturdy. So overall, I'm incredibly impressed with the Condor Bushlore that I got. It has a great feel to the knife. Last but not least, I'll go to get this guy open. My most expensive purchase, which is the Ontario Rat 3. This is how it comes. Got this kydex sheath. That looks pretty sweet. Got the tech lock, which is one of the reasons why I got this knife. And the knife itself. Pop this off. Wow. That's pretty cool. All the other videos, they say that the handle down here is too small, but as you can see, I can wrap all my fingers around there, hold it like that. That gimping is really comfortable. Finger choil, that's a nice finger choil. It feels like I got so much control over that blade. That's nice. I'm excited for this one. Does not feel sharp. I'll say that. That's definitely the dullest one out of the batch. Wow. Let's see. Yeah, that's struggling a bit. You know, it still performs, but I never would have thought that this would be duller than the Condor Bushlore, but it is. The micarta around the handle is a little rough here. And you can see that it doesn't quite, the tang is a little bit exposed. There's a lip up here. Maybe you can see it this way. The micarta isn't totally flush and a little bit rough around this edge, which is not a big deal, but it's definitely something when you compare these two together. This is like the Condor Bushlore. It doesn't have any problems. It's totally flush, perfectly smooth back here. Try to get to focus. There we go. Like, you can see how smooth that is in the camera. So it's a little disappointing, but not to worry. The cool thing about these micarta with the rat is that you can take it off. The Condor Bushlore has pins in it, and it might be glued, I'm not sure. So, but overall, this knife feels really awesome. I don't necessarily care if my knife comes out razor sharp out of the box, because you need to, don't buy a knife unless you know how to sharpen one. But this is the kydex sheath that comes with it. That's pretty cool. Comes with a clip that, I probably won't wear it like that. I want to put the tech lock on it as soon as I can. The sheath is one of the coolest parts about this knife. So the tech lock opens up like that. Like, you squeeze here, pop it open, and that will give you a horizontal carry when you attach this onto here, and you can have your knife sitting on your belt like that. And this also makes it so you can attach it to your backpack and attach it to other places securely, which is really cool. I think that's the best thing about this knife is this sheath is really, really good. The tension isn't, wow. I can't, there's no way I can push that out. Well, that knife's not going to fall out, that's for sure. So you've seen all the knives, and I guess I'll give them a rating. We'll start off. The sharpest knife out of all of them was definitely the Mora Classic #1. However, this sheath is definitely the worst, and the handle is definitely the worst out of both of the Bushlore and the rat. But I mean, this was 20 bucks Canadian, and the Bushlore was like around $70 Canadian. I paid maybe $15 more for the micarta, and I'm really glad that I did, because this is definitely the best handle out of all of them. It feels amazing. I haven't had a knife that felt like this in my hand, and I got this blade because it's about the right length that I think for a bushcraft knife. It's got like the 4.375 inch blade here, and that's kind of like where you want to be with your bushcraft knives. And the Rat 3 is more of a knife that I can't really bring like the Condor Bushlore when I'm taking my dog for a walk or something like that, but I could definitely put this knife and bring this knife with me. So that's why I got the Rat 3, because I thought I would use it more with hiking and that sort of stuff. It's not as clunky and it's easier to carry. So the Condor Bushlore was the second sharpest. The handle is definitely the best. I would say overall the fit and finish was the best on the Condor Bushlore, which is crazy. I would not have thought before this that I would say that. And I'm excited to use this knife, even though it is 1075 high carbon steel. I'm still excited to use that knife. Lastly, the Rat 3 had the worst finish on it. The handle is not as comfortable because it doesn't have palm swell, but the gimping here is so sweet that like I feel like I have so much control over the blade. I mean, if you want to pinch it like this, you can put your fingers, lock them in like that, and like you can do, you know, fine things right on the edge up there, and like it just feels like a really good grip for like the slicing type of knife that this is. And I got it because, you know, it's 1095 high carbon steel. It's got the coating on it that I'm not sure if I'm going to keep or not, but this is going to be better in wetter conditions than the Bushlore for sure, even though it will still rust, just because this kydex sheath like won't retain the moisture, right? It's got a hole too to have water drain out of it, and this sheath is definitely the best out of all of them, even though that the leather sheath from the Bushlore is a nice sheath too. The Rat 3 one just wins because it has the tech lock, it has more options, and it's going to last longer, and it's going to be better in wet conditions, which is what I need. Overall, I'm incredibly happy about all of these purchases, and if you guys are wondering about any one of these knives, just buy them. Like, they're having them in my hand, like I just know that they're great knives. Just know that like this guy, he's not going to be as good in the woods. He's a little bit smaller. If you want to get a Mora for like bushcraft, just get the Mora Companion. The sheath is way better. The handle is more ergonomic. Your finger's not going to slip, and it's just better. It's just better for bushcraft. So just know that. And these knives, the reason why I got them too is because they're roughly 3 millimeters thick, or an eighth of an inch. And I'm not into having a big thick blade on me. I want something that, you know, is tough and durable, but can do some slicing and can process some wood, you know, get those feather sticks or carving or notching and all that stuff. And I feel that like anything up that's thicker than, you know, maybe 3.5 mil is kind of overdoing it. So that's why I decided to get the Bushlore and the Rat 3, and then the Mora Classic #1 I think everyone should have. Is just a good knife to have around the house. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. You guys will definitely be seeing these knives in my future videos. I'll do some actual field testing on them. I'll let you know how my opinion changes or doesn't change on them. And until then, hope you guys have a good one. If this is the first time watching my channel, please please subscribe. I have lots of fun videos on bushcraft and other adventures. So if you're into that sort of thing, stick around.